Hi. So last week I was working with a student on his comparative prompt, which was quite an interesting one. It said something like, compare the extent to which characters in both texts showed resilience. And his plan for the essay was to sort of essentially say that one character in one text showed more resilience than the character in the other text. Now, the problem with making that kind of judgment call in your comparative essay is that you kind of reduce it to a very simplistic, two-dimensional analysis, if you will, of who did what better, right? When in reality, you can do so much more than that. So what I suggested to the student is that rather than making that judgment call of who did what better or who showed this resilience better, is to look at the environmental factors and the contextual situation of the two texts and to talk about in the essay what enables resilience in the texts, right? So we see resilience in the two characters, but they looked very different, right? It drives the characters to do very different things. So what we had ended up with was a more nuanced discussion of what does resilience look like, why is resilience happening, and in what circumstances or context or situation does it not occur, or is it sort of hampered, right? Is it dampened down, if you will? Like what causes that, and what does resilience drive them to do? What does it enable them to do in the two texts? And so if we could do that, then that's a way more insightful discussion of this quality, resilience, in the two texts that does talk about the extent to which this quality is shown, but also, shows a far more sophisticated understanding of why does it happen, why does it not happen, what does it enable the characters to do, what does it cause, right? What does it result in? And so a response like that would have gotten the student, higher marks, really. So my suggestion to you is if you get an essay prompt that asks you to judge to what extent do the characters in two texts demonstrate a quality, so either resilience or love or peace or sense of justice or a sense of duty and responsibility. So whatever quality it is that you're being asked to compare, that you don't just look at who showed what more, right? But you really look at the context around it. And hopefully that'll get you a more nuanced and hopefully higher scoring essay.